You might have heard a lot about the world, but you might be hearing these for the very first time. The proof? Here it comes. Do you have the courage to look up and face the extraordinary dynamics of the world you are thrashing around in? Do you know why? Because realizing that everything is not a blind coincidence, that you are merely a speck within a colossal intelligence and balance, might make you uncomfortable. Our brains keep our arrogance safe by oversimplifying events of a magnitude we cannot comprehend. But you are not like the rest. You are here because you crave that disturbing depth. I will show you how your historical timeline is a delusion, how our planet is nowhere near as ordinary as you think, and how everything around you is part of a flawlessly ticking clock. Now I am dropping that heavy burden onto your shoulders with our first truth. Hold on tight. 1. Look at the sky and feel ashamed. Trees or stars? When you look at the night sky, you see the stars in that massive darkness, billions of stars. You spout poetry about how small we are. But hold on a second. There are roughly 100 to 400 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy. The number seems colossal. Now look down. On this planet, on this Earth you walk upon, there are approximately 3 trillion trees. You share the exact same planet with almost 10 times as many stars as there are in our galaxy. Space might be incomprehensibly vast, but beneath your feet lies a massive, flawlessly functioning density of life. And within that life, there are far more finely calculated secrets hidden than you could ever imagine. The perception of time. Oxford and the Aztecs. Remember your history lessons. When you hear Oxford University, you think of modern robes, British order, and science, right? When you hear Aztec Empire, you think of pyramids, primitive tribes, ancient eras. Now face the reality. Oxford University is older than the Aztec Empire. Yes, you heard that right. Teaching existed at Oxford in 1096. The Aztec capital, Tenochtitlan, was founded in 1325. So while academics in England were debating in libraries, the Aztecs hadn't even laid the foundation of their empire. Look at how we shove time into the wrong boxes in our heads. But wait, I'm saving the most earth-shattering thing about time for the very end. Nature's dark web, the Earth's real internet. You think we invented the internet. Cables, servers, Wi-Fi. Pure arrogance. The trees you see when you go to the forest aren't just pieces of wood stuck in the dirt. Beneath every step you take, there is a massive, flawlessly functioning network established millions of years before those fiber cables you boast so much about. It's called the Wood Wide Web. Beneath the soil lies a colossal mycorrhizal fungal network. This is not a blind coincidence. It is a magnificent system of mutual aid. Through this perfect system, a distress signal is transmitted from a sick tree to the others. Nutrients are transferred from a rich area to a dying sapling through this web. Resources are shared, and a massive balance of life is preserved. Whether you call it the intelligence of nature or the design of a creator, that fine-tuning crushes your arrogance entirely. Sharks are older than trees. Since we're talking about antiquity, let's push the limits. When you say sharks, you think of savage predators. But what if I told you they are older than the very first trees on Earth? The first trees on Earth appeared about 350 million years ago. Sharks have been here for roughly 400 million years. They are not only older than trees, but even older than Saturn's rings. These animals survived 4 major mass extinctions on Earth. The planet burned, froze, and was struck by a meteor, yet that perfect system kept renewing itself, and they kept swimming. Learn to respect the designer of nature. Cleopatra's test with the iPhone. Ancient Egypt, pyramids, pharaohs. In your mind, they are all grouped together as if they lived in the same era. This is one of the greatest comforts of ignorance. It simplifies everything. Come, let's look at the truth together. Egypt's last queen, Cleopatra, lived closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than to the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. The pyramids were built around 2560 BC. Cleopatra lived in 30 BC. So when Cleopatra looked at the pyramids, they were already 2,500-year-old ancient ruins. They were further away from her than our distance to Cleopatra today. History is not a straight line like your narrow mind assumes. The monster in your stomach.
a flawless chemical factory. From the outside, you think about how fragile a body you have. Even a paper cut hurts, but you have no idea about the meticulously calculated chemical arsenal you carry inside. The acid in the human stomach is so powerful that its pH level is between 1 and 2. Do you know what this means? If you accidentally swallowed a razor blade, your stomach could dissolve that metal to the point of crumbling it like paper within 24 hours. To avoid digesting itself, your stomach has to completely renew its inner lining every 3 to 4 days. You are not weak. You are practically carrying a nuclear reactor inside. Everything operates on a millimeter-perfect chemical balance. 7. The crushing weight and engineering of clouds. You look at the sky and watch those cotton-like, light and soothing clouds. Poets write poems about them. Physics slaps them in the face. How heavy do you think an ordinary mid-sized cumulus cloud is? A few kilograms? Maybe the weight of a car? No. An average cloud weighs about 500,000 kilograms. That means a massive body of water weighing exactly 100 elephants is flying right above your head right now. So how does this colossal weight not crash down on our heads? You can't just pass it off as wind, because that weight is divided into millions of tiny water droplets. This is no physical accident. This is an unimaginable marvel of engineering, a flawless calibration in the sky. Behind everything in life that seems light and spontaneous operates a massive, meticulously calculated mechanism just like this. 8. The crudest form of wealth, diamond rain on planets. On Earth, wars break out over diamonds. People crush each other, and massive fortunes are spent just for that shiny stone you think is rare. Your little money games of yours are a big fat nothing in the face of the universe's colossal and crushing mechanics. Do you know what rains on Jupiter and Saturn? Not water. It rains diamonds. The massive lightning storms in their atmospheres turn methane gas into carbon, and as this carbon falls, it gets crushed by immense pressure and turns into pure diamond. On Saturn alone, 10 million tons of diamonds rain every year. Trillions of dollars worth of fortune make up the mud of those planets. The stones you shed blood over are just simple drops falling from the sky in this grand order. 9. Russia crushing Pluto. Let's test your geography knowledge too. On one side, a country. On the other, a whole planet. Planets are always bigger than countries, right? Wrong. Russia's surface area is 17.1 million square kilometers. The total surface area of Pluto is only 16.6 million square kilometers, meaning Russia is bigger than Pluto. Even a single country on the planet you live on takes up more space than that celestial body at the edge of the solar system. The proportions and sizes are mocking the limits of your mind. But wait, all of this that I've told you, the sizes, dates, ages, they were all just a warm-up. Now we arrive at that terrifying truth I promised you at the very beginning, the reckoning between the laws of physics and your own body. 10. The split time of your body. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned I was going to tell you something earth-shattering about time. Here we are. The upper half of your body ages faster than the lower half. Welcome to the theory of relativity, one of physics's most ruthless yet inerring rules. Gravity bends time. The closer you are to a mass, the slower time flows for you. The further away you are, the faster time passes. What does this have to do with you? Your feet are closer to the center of the Earth than your head, meaning the Earth's gravity pulls on your feet stronger than it does on your head. This means that throughout your life, your head ages faster than your feet, even if only by microseconds. People living on mountain peaks age faster than people living at sea level. You think you're just sitting still in that chair right now. But this colossal system you are in is bending your body from the bottom up, albeit by microseconds. What you call reality is not a blind chaos. It is an entirely calculated, ruthless, flawless ticking clock that crushes your endless arrogance. Now, take a deep breath. You know that Oxford is older than the Aztecs, that clouds weighing 100 elephants float above your head with fine-tuned precision, that a massive communication network lies in the soil beneath your feet, and how time physically bends your own body. The world is no longer that boring, ordinary, monotonous place for you. The truth is, the world was never like that. You were just too afraid to step out of your shallow comfort zone. If these facts caught your attention, you are in the right place, because there is no room for mediocrity here. If you are eager to break free from the cheap content that numbs your mind and want to think from a different, unorthodox perspective, hit that subscribe button below and send this video to a friend who still thinks the world is a flat, meaningless chaos. And now, head down to the comments and tell me this: which of these fine-tunings of the universe crushed your supposedly unshakable arrogance? Let's meet in the comments to decide the topic for our next video. See ya. Keep your mind open.